How do you bring as much excitement when Larry Sharp's not here?
I don't know. We're pretty exciting, I think.
Whew,
I think we're exciting.
that guy can talk.
He can talk.
He can
He's got a
talk.
lot of great ideas, I think.
If you think you want to be in politics, sit in a room with Larry Sharp for 5 minutes, and then I guarantee
Change your mind.
you'll be like, yeah,
Yeah, I like politics.
We'll leave it to the professionals.
But don't want to
Oh,
be in a
geez.
debate with that guy.
No.
Do not want to be in a debate with that guy. Mostly just because it's not a very good. You won't win the debate if you just say, "Yeah, I totally agree with what he said."
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That actually makes sense.
Yep. No, that was crazy. What a day.
So what do you?
What a day.
Man, before we get, you know what though? So, what'd you think? You change your mind on anything?
Yeah, I mean, he articulates everything pretty well. Just seems like he wants more freedom for more people. And he hit on some spots where I think a lot of people would be like, well, what do you really think about this? Thinking back to it now, you wish you had another 3 hours with him,
Oh, yeah.
because there's so many things you could ask him that he didn't talk about.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've always thought this with the Libertarian Party is it all sounds good on paper, just like what happens when you unleash it, so.
Well, we've got some idea on some of the things because some of the ideas are being done. They're just not all being done together in the same place at the same time.
And maybe that's the way to do it is slowly.
Like, interestingly, I mean, he brings up points, right? So look at what he brought up about the brewery industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, libertarians talk about deregulation all the time, and we talk about it for all different industries. And the reason we talk about it is so that guys like me could actually be in an industry at all.
Right.
Not, it's not trying to deregulate it so that Jeff Bezos can make more money. It's so that Phil can open a business.
Right.
And so Phil can compete with, Jeff Bezos. Not that I'm going to run the guy out of business, but I might be able to do better locally.
How much is his wife getting in the divorce?
Is it half? Does she get half?
She gets like something.
She's the richest woman in the world.
In alimony or something.
Based on
just
her divorce.
Just a divorce.
Yeah.
Whoa. How about that? When do we start changing that? Do you? Unless you play a significant part in somebody becoming rich.
Right. So this is like
Yeah.
This is the so you're married to an NBA player.
Yeah.
How many layups did you do?
Right, exactly.
Like, do you have to make a layup?
Yeah.
In order to get half.
And it's not just men, and it's not just women. It's like both. I've seen it happen both ways.
Who's the guy? Is it? There's a famous that's a guy that is it Britney Spears that like Kevin Federline or something was just worthless and got half of all of her stuff.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure
like
there's
that.
Lots of people where it's like it's not fair. Is what it is. Yeah, and alimony, it's like, really, what? So because we don't like each other anymore, and we spent 10 years together, now I have to pay you until you die because we got married.
Well, now
see, this is the problem with the government being involved with marriage.
Well, so marriage is a contract. It's a business partnership.
Right.
If you just if you want to just like have sex, just do that. But marriage is a business contract.
Yeah.
It's you're running a business together to support yourselves.
There's a lot of shitty businesses being ran.
There are. There aren't very many people that are good at running businesses.
No,
but
not like that.
But yeah, I agree. We should get the government out of marriage, but at the same time, so take that same situation though.
Mm-hmm.
Take, say Kobe. No, don't say Kobe Bryant because he's passed. Yeah. Anyway, say whatever NBA player, wife that just looks good.
Yeah.
So she might have been doing other things.
Uh-huh.
She might have been building skills. She might have gone to college. She might have started a business if she wasn't being supported by an NBA player.
Right.
So she's missed opportunities for income, for career advancement. That's not all the cases, but that's some of the cases.
Some, yeah. I mean, I've seen it both ways. I've seen it in just my small town the other way.
Yeah.
A guy who cheated on his wife, and his wife made all the money, and his wife pays him an outrageous amount of alimony because she got hurt, and there was a lawsuit, and yeah,
where do I get that gig?
Just screw around on your wife, then get divorced. It's like, okay, yeah, strange stuff.
Jeez.
And then you get paid.
That's nuts.
It is nuts.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen this white dog up the street here?
No.
There's this guy that walks his dog. I saw this on the way in today.
Okay.
I had to bring this up. I saw this on the way in today. And the dog, every time I see the dog, if it's sunny out,
yeah,
it's just like its head's like right in the ground, and it's just like pouncing like on the ground. And I'm like, I kept trying to figure out what the hell is it doing? Like, is it like trying to get a cricket or something? Like,
sounds like it's trying to get a shadow.
It's trying to get its shadow.
Yeah.
This dog is just funny. Like goes nuts.
Kato does
trying to attack its shadow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I've never seen Kato do it.
Yeah, he loves chasing any lights or shadows. Yep.
That is ridiculous.
Especially if there's a lot of people around. He gets like crazy about it. So, yeah, dogs.
So, okay. It's my turn. Since you got to grill me about being an athletic trainer. Is business. You've operated several businesses. If you had no skills, if you hadn't done any of that, what business would you open? Or what, do you have any business ideas that people could, like today, in today's environment, what would be a good business to open for somebody who's not, a skilled craftsman in any different kind of thing?
Tough to say. I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it. I really, out of all the business I started, I think my favorite, and I wish I could still do today, was process serving.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You just like being a sneaky little guy.
It was just, and it's always going to be there. We're talking about divorces, and it's like somebody's got to be served papers. And New York State did away with just regular people doing it because now the police serve papers.
It has to be the police.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it has to be.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Big government right there.
It's definitely, it opens up. It's a fun job. It was fun. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them probably, not a lot. I'm sure people have been shot over it and stuff like that.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, you get the.
Are you allowed to carry a firearm while you're serving?
Yeah, I think you're a civilian. So
yeah. So you can just do whatever you would normally do.
Yeah, conceal carry.
You can do everything that a normal person could do.
Yep.
Interesting. But now the police have to do it?
I don't know if they have to, but they can do it. And the police, I don't believe, charge. So it's like, why would you pay?
Right.
So pretty much the police do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, then you get the dog, the bounty hunter situation. Like if the police can't find a guy.
Get dog out there.
If the police can't find a guy, then just hire Jesse.
And
he'll do those like, the tough ones. He'll get the ones where you really got to track somebody down.
Yeah, no, I probably
really have
very good at it.
Like stalk them on Facebook and Instagram. You got to hack into their Finsta.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do about Finsta?
I don't know what that is. Not sure.
You don't know what Finsta is?
No.
Neither does Congress.
Okay.
So get this story right.
All right.
So one of the big things going around from in the news lately was that there was a hearing where they were questioning Mark Zuckerberg, and they said, "What are you going to do? Or would you commit to like getting rid of Finsta? Like, can you crack down on Finsta?" And
did he know?
He's like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Well, are you gonna get rid of Finsta? Like, can you?" And he's like, "Well, let me explain to you what Finsta is. It's where you've got a like a fake Instagram account."
Okay. And they're actually grilling him about it?
Yeah, because they didn't know what the hell it was. They had no idea what they were talking about.
So
it
was just like a talking point?
Oh yeah, they heard somebody say Finsta is a problem. and they were trying to do some fear mongering. They're like, obviously, if you've got fake Instagram, then you could use that for propaganda and stuff. But what they're talking about is fake Instagram being used mostly by like young people so that they could have basically a private account that they would have with their friends or that their parents couldn't see or whatever.
Okay.
And so like the end game is what, that everybody has to send in their ID to Facebook.
Well, Facebook, have you ever had them make you send a picture of yourself to prove that you're a real?
Like you have to put up your left hand kind of deal.
Like there's a thing where they're like, hey, send us a picture.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've had them do that.
Really?
Yeah, because my Barrington Distillers account isn't under a business account,
mm-hmm.
and it's just like a friend account.
Right.
Because you actually reach more people as a friend than you do on a business page.
Absolutely. Sorry, everybody. That's why why we're on both.
Yeah.
You should be watching us on It's Rare, though. Go to It's Rare Facebook page. It's Rare YouTube, actually. It would be a great option. Make sure you're following both.
Double follow.
Follow both. Bookmark itsrare.com. We don't want to lose you. Did you see what happened with Facebook on like Monday or whatever?
Yeah, they were coming after us. That's why they did it. It was us.
Well, because of the whistleblower too.
No, it was not.
They heard what we were talking about on here.
Yeah, no,
they didn't want us to be able to talk about it.
They knew that us having Larry Sharp on was going to get billions and billions of views.
Billions. Do you know what their story is about what actually happened? Like why it was down?
Yeah, because they were trying to delete all the shit they could.
But do you know what their story is?
No.
And this is crazy because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
But I do want to. I'm going to draw a correlation after I finish telling you what happened.
I'm ready.
So here's what happened. So Facebook is completely kind of self-supporting. So what I mean when I say that is that Facebook uses Facebook.
Okay.
For everything.
Facebook uses Facebook.
So Facebook, they did an update. The update they made a mistake on. And so it said, hey, the servers aren't here. Like they sent the message off to update. And instead of sending you to the server, it said, hey, it sent you to some place where it said, hey, the servers aren't here. So there wasn't access to the server. Step 2. They had this thing on their phone, whatever, like, or a smart card or something where they could use through Facebook, their identity to get through the door.
Okay.
So it's like a magic door. It's not just like I don't know, it's like Star Trek or some shit.
Sure. Okay.
Anyway, so long story short, they can't get through the door to get in to fix it.
Really? They locked themselves out?
They locked themselves out and they couldn't use their phone to do it because that would be using Facebook system and Facebook was down. So now they can't get in there to fix it. So they got to get a hold of security so that security can come get them in the door. Guess what they use to contact security?
Facebook.
That
they can't get into.
Facebook's down. So they can't get in touch with security to tell them to get their ass over there. They get the door open so that they can update the system.
Wow. Facebook goes down, Facebook's in trouble.
Right? So Facebook's got this whole like self-contained situation. It's all planned together where they say, like everything is controlled by Facebook there.
Yeah.
Now think about that in an economy, right? Say we decide that we're going to have iPhones. And we're just going to make iPhones. We're going to make iPhones work off the iPhone server.
Yeah.
Like iPhone, say it's Fed phone, right?
Fed phone.
Trademark.
Don't touch it.
Hashtag.
Say it's trademark these things.
Say it's Fed phone trademark.
Okay.
And everything runs off Fed phone.
Okay.
And it's run by whoever your least favorite politician is at the time, who's in the White House, because that's how government policies work, is that even if you make a policy for Obama to be in charge of because you like him, you might just end up with Trump. And if you make a policy for Trump because you like him, you might end up with Biden.
Yeah.
So stop giving the government more power. Anyway, if it's all built on itself under this like fake system of central planning, it can't compensate.
That's so. I didn't know that was the reason why they couldn't get back in.
Yeah, neither did I. I looked it up this morning.
I really thought,
and it was there was some guy did a whole Twitter story about it.
I thought Phil was going to go down a rabbit hole. Everybody, I get this text message from Phil. I don't really get on Facebook much, but I get this text message from Phil. Hey, have you seen Facebook's been down? I'm like, actually, I haven't. And then I get on, I'm like, oh, and Phil's like, we're being shadow banned. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? like I thought we were going. He's like, Alex Jones, like the birds are all drones, and
I'm not Alex Jones. I'm not Alex Jones.
The chemtrails of in space.
and you know what? It took on WhatsApp. It took down Instagram. So you couldn't get through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You couldn't get through Facebook Messenger. All those things are in the same system. So it screwed everything.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you have everything controlled by one thing.
That's pretty crazy.
So what you need is, you know what? Like, we've got 2 different messaging systems. We've got 100 different messaging systems. If one of them sucks and one of them is great, you probably use the great one, but a lot of people are going to be using a lot of different ones that fit what their specific needs are.
Yeah.
And then you can have an economy.
Huh. Pretty cool.
That's what I think.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think we're being shadow banned anyways. Those guys are coming after us. But
we're definitely being shadow banned. It's like a double secret probation kind of situation.
Yeah. Now this whistleblower. Was anyone surprised? Let me tell you.
No.
Did anyone not know Facebook was collecting your information to sell it? No. I just like, can we raise your hands? Everyone. That's like
nobody.
Oh, okay. It's like, hey, I go to the 18th Amendment and they serve me alcohol that they make really cheap to make money off me. It's like, yeah, we do. Like, I just whistleblow the 18th Amendment. You guys are getting nailed over here.
18th Amendment's gonna get nailed.
Yeah, we're done. Just whistleblowed it. It's like, it's no different. It really is. It's like, everyone knows. Like, how, like, I mean, I'm not like, good for her, I guess.
Why?
But it's we knew.
But you know what this does?
Knew.
You know what this is actually a scary whistleblower.
Okay.
Because of what she wants, like what the solution is to the problem that she's suggesting. The solution to the problem that she's suggesting is really scary, which is more cracking down on speech.
Yeah.
Now I'm against what I don't like social media doing what they do, where they kind of manipulate algorithms to make it so you see more of certain things, and the way that they do those things to try to like suck you in.
Sometimes even if you
and
say
put you
stuff
in like an echo chamber. Yeah, but they do this thing like,
that's weird.
Say you watch a video about I don't know, you watch like an Alex Jones video and you believe in, if you're anti-vax, say you're anti-vax.
Right.
If you're anti-vax, then you're going to start seeing like the Pizzagate type stuff. Like, you're going to start seeing that if you order a pizza from this one pizza shop in Washington, that it's actually like child porn or something. And then,
okay.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, they find the rabbit hole that you'll go down.
Yeah.
And they give it to you.
Well, yeah,
give you all of it
from looking at videos. But have you ever just been talking to somebody? I'm not kidding you. And then you like look at like your next ad, and you're like, the fuck? I haven't looked up anything about that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they're like, that gets weird. And maybe I'm going. Maybe
no, that's
Alex
weird.
Jones.
That's weird. But they don't like that aside.
Yeah.
Whether they're doing that or not, they are like curating your information,
right?
And it's really making people it makes them like, it feeds into it.
So what do you think her play was?
So she wants more regulation. She wants to have the government clamp down on Facebook, because that's the only way that these people can understand to change something, is to clamp down on Facebook. And what she should be doing, in my opinion, is not trying to get the government to do it, but getting people to do it themselves,
Yeah.
to get people to regulate themselves. The one issue is, like I said, is how Facebook does these manipulative things.
Yeah.
And the fact that we know about that, maybe we can try to fix that. But what she's talking about is actually suppressing speech. She's not talking about not letting you see everything equally. She's talking about really more banning.
Yeah.
She's talking about doing more banning.
This is the greatest thing about the United States. If you don't want someone to have your personal information, don't use Facebook. You don't have to use Facebook. And I've heard lots of people say, well, it's how I keep in contact with my friends and my family. Well, if you have Facebook, you have email, you have text messages.
Right.
You can keep,
use Signal.
I've never had a personal Facebook ever in my entire life. And I don't think I've missed out on much.
No.
So I just got to say, for anyone, they're a corporation and they're in it to make money.
Yes.
That's just what it is. And what can you expect?
They want to keep you looking at that phone.
Yeah. And even sometimes on the Barrington Facebook, I'll catch myself like 7 people in.
Yep.
I'm like, what? Why am I looking at this person? Like, who is this? Like, and then I'll just like come out like, well, yeah, that's why I don't have Facebook. It's just like, what do you care? Yeah. I don't know. It's like perfect for nosy people. Yeah. Like if you like really want to get, the only good thing I'll say about Facebook is every once in a while, there will be a really good debate topic on someone's, like, you bring them, you get them, you have friends with all different views and walk of life. And so you'll get like some good comment sections and most people are pretty good. You get that one guy that goes somewhere that no one knows, but usually, so there's some good speech that comes from it, but at the same time, most of it's bullshit.
I saw a thing the other day though that I found interesting about mental health and social media and how it's had that impact. And I think that was a lot of what the whistleblower was talking about is the impact on mental health. And it was interesting that they suggested, people that actually worked in social media were saying, listen, I don't let my kids have any screen time.
None.
0.
Whoa.
They said all devices are out of the bedroom by an hour before bedtime.
Okay.
All devices. And they said middle school's hard enough. So at the very least, no social media until they're in high school. And the longer the better. But if you can wait at least until high school, because middle school's already hard enough. Don't need social media to make it harder.
Yeah.
Look at all the cyberbullying and all this other stuff that's going on.
It's like Facebook's an old person game now.
Yeah.
Like the young kids are doing, it's like TikTok, right? I have a little cousin.
But these
just freaking
like the filters
TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and like all this other new stuff. Yeah.
Kids are getting surgery. Kids are like old, like 18-year-old, like kids, 18-year-olds, kids. They're getting surgery to make themselves look more like their Snapchat filters. Like it messes up their mind that they think that they have to look like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah, but they don't even go out in public.
I know.
Like, why do you got to even look nice when you're just on your phone and computer all day?
They go out in public.
Yeah, not much. I don't know. You remember when we were kids? How many kids did you see riding bike? I sound like an old person now. Like
back in my day, we used to ride bicycles.
We'd go play in the mud puddles and stuff.
You sit on this thing, and I'll tell you what, you move your feet around, and it takes you places.
But am I right? Think about it. All the kids in the neighborhood were out and about.
Everybody.
Yeah. Now I'm telling you, I drive around town on a Saturday. There's a park in Dundee.
Do you think that's because of
we used to play
screens?
tag?
Do you think that's because of screens?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because you can sit at home and get. Here's the thing, especially men. You'll notice is like we love competition, And you can trust me. I've played video games. There's nothing more competitive than some of those video games. Like it is seriously like it's there. And to get that, you can just click a button, turn on your TV, and just be immersed in a competitive environment. Where used to, the only way to get that was to go outside and play baseball, basketball, football.
Well, two-hand touch.
Yeah, but now how it's so easy to just be into it. Yeah. So no, I'm telling you, like I was saying, park in Dundee used to be packed every day.
I don't think that's the only reason though, because I remember even when we were kids, when I was a kid, which is, like when you weren't born, but when I was a kid, that they were already talking about parents are worried, like parents are worried about their kids being outside without an adult there. And like when I was a kid, you could still get away with it. Like you could go play around the neighborhood, but you really think that parents would let kids go run around the neighborhood without a parent supervising them?
I mean, as long as
it's really a lot less.
As long as you were with a group in the park, yeah, sure, why not? You don't want your kid walking around town by themselves.
Yeah.
So.
No, it just seems like their parents are a lot more protective than they used to be. I mean, they always get the stories of, yeah, well, when I was a kid. Well, you know what? When I was a kid, yeah, you could like stand up in the back seat while the car is moving.
Was that a thing?
And now
I thought you had to be buckled no matter what.
Well, now you got to be in a booster seat until you're like 14. It's like, what the hell?
I was you ever heard of Steve Ranella?
We used to lay on the little shelf in the back.
No way. That sounds terrifying.
Now they don't have those as much in new cars, but
yeah. Have you ever heard of Steve Ranella? He's like a big hunter. He does like the show on Netflix. Like
no,
you don't watch Netflix or anything.
I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, okay, so pretty much, yeah, he's like a huge hunter. Like just goes everywhere. He kills, skins, and then like cooks it and like teaches you like the whole process from here to here. Anyways, and he was talking.
Do you think he makes a lot of money doing that?
Oh yeah, it's filthy rich.
Why don't we do that?
That'd be fun. I forget what it's
we have
called.
A camera.
It's like meat something.
We have a camera. We could do that.
We could. Yeah, it'd be fun. But he brought up what one person thinks is okay for kids is completely different than what another person. It was a pretty cool topic, but he was saying like he has friends in New York City who let their kids ride the subway.
Yeah.
And he goes
alone.
What the? And then the same people, he'll tell them, yeah, no, I'll let my son go out. We go bear hunting together. And the people are just like, you let your son hunt bears? Like, it's funny. He's like, it's everyone has a different, there's no like line of this is safe, this isn't safe.
Yeah.
So coming up to that, I think, everyone's just got different looks on stuff. But that's why I don't know how much of that goes to people don't want their kids outside. I don't know. Think about it. I mean, you've probably never played a video game in your life, have you?
Reported to not really.
No. So I mean, I don't know. You're probably not like into it.
Not
but
a
I'm
video
telling
game guy.
If you grew up young playing it, I bet you'd be really different.
I played a little bit when I was young.
Yeah.
And then like Super Nintendo was it. Like once we got past Super Nintendo, I was out of video games. I wasn't into them. I was more like I was gonna go play baseball.
Yeah. Well, look at what these kids see. These guys play video games and make millions of dollars just to sit there and play a freaking video game.
They make millions of dollars playing video games.
All because they stream the game and they say all kinds of wacky shit while they're playing it. And you're just like, wait, that's supposed to be entertaining? Kids watch other kids play video games for fun.
Isn't that ridiculous? This is like the
that's so insane.
It's like the YouTube videos where they like open up toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those make millions. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Why is this a thing?
I do find myself on YouTube.
We're just training little kids to do this, by the way.
To watch videos.
To watch videos instead of play.
Yeah. Not even play. Yeah. You don't even. You don't play video games. You watch people play video games, and then you pay them money. That's what that Twitch thing is.
You
is
pay
like,
them.
You pay them. You give them
Like,
tips
at the
Yeah,
time.
you give them like $5 because they're playing a game, and it's like,
What?
Phil, it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And so I was thinking, like, could you do the same thing and drink beer? Like, could you imagine just like you're drinking beer and someone's like, "Wow, that's a good sip." And
Hey guys,
$5. Oh my god!
don't forget to tip me.
Yeah, craziness, Phil.
In all seriousness, Venmo, Philip Ray.
Has anyone, all the times we've joked around and thrown our stuff, has anyone ever actually emailed or
Can you,
say
like,
anything?
if I put my Venmo up here, are people gonna like, will they request money from me,
Maybe.
or can they just send me money?
No, I think they can just send you money.
They can't just like send me an invoice or something.
I think the thing everyone uses is called Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon I've seen.
Yeah.
And the thing with Patreon is it sucks you in because it's a subscription.
Oh, really?
So rather than being a like a one-time Bing donation,
Yeah.
it's like monthly.
Oh.
It's like you subscribe. It's like, here's $10 a month.
Really?
Yeah. So everybody, make sure go over to our Patreon.
Yeah. Do you know they made an app that breaks down everything you're subscribed to?
That's a good idea.
And
how much it costs you?
Yeah, and and so you can unsubscribe.
14 cups of coffee.
But I got to tell you, I didn't know how much I was subscribed to because sometimes I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, especially I get caught by sports. Like, if I want to watch like a UFC fight or a boxing match, subscribe to ESPN Plus and you can watch the fight for $3.99 instead of $50.
And it's
deal
free for 3 months.
Yeah, and then I just never
put in your credit card now.
So I lost my card and I canceled it.
Yeah.
And the difference between my last statement and the statement, because I couldn't pay for any of the stuff because that all had my old card.
Yeah.
I saved like $120 a month in subscriptions.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's nuts.
It was a lot. It was crazy.
So if you, you know what, in all seriousness though, sauce us some cash and we'll go do a show on site someplace. And you just tell us where. Yeah,
we need a Patreon though.
We need a Patreon. We have a Patreon.
Oh, you have a Patreon?
It's not really functioning at the moment.
Put it in there. Put it in the comments.
Well, it says that we'll do a whole bunch of stuff that we won't actually do.
Well, we'll do anything for enough money.
Well,
anything.
Let's see what the Patreon says.
Here we go.
I don't know how to log into it anymore. Let me see. Patreon.
Every time you take the
foiled.
Every time you take the video off the screen, I always think we're not on camera anymore. That's when I always do wacky shit.
When you start like picking your nose.
Everyone's like, what the hell's he doing?
I don't even know how to.
Podcasters. There you go. For creators. Look at that.
Boom. Yeah, it's podcasters. But so I got to figure out what the login is. I know I've got a login.
Did you send an invite to Kathy Hochul?
Not yet, but we will invite Kathy. Actually, since you're watching, you're welcome to come on the show.
Yeah,
we'll give you a chance to tell your side of it, just like we did with Larry. We'll give you a chance to tell your side of it, and
who's the Republican nominee? Is there a nominee?
Hopefully, well, no, and Kathy Hochul's not a nominee either yet.
Right. So what would you call it? Incumbent or not? She's not an incumbent, is she?
I don't know if she's
technically
an incumbent because she hasn't been elected. She might still be an incumbent. I'm not sure.
Okay.
How the definition of that word works if you haven't actually been elected. I guess she was elected as lieutenant governor.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, she's not even like officially on the ballot for next year yet because she'll face a primary as well.
Right.
So the Republicans and Democrats will have a primary.
Yeah.
Larry will be in the Republican primary, hopefully. We hope. He needs a Wilson Pikula.
Yeah, some of the things Larry says, and again, I was like, some of it still feels extreme to me. Maybe I'm kind of just a chill person. So yeah. I mean, that's just who I am. But I gotta tell you, as a person, he's honestly a decent guy. He made his time to come down here. He was pretty cool with us. He had fun with us the whole time. That sounded weird. We had fun. It was it was it was good, you know. I mean, and he was I'm not kidding you. Sat down in this chair and looked at Phil and I. He's like, I only have one rule when I'm doing the show, and I know Phil and I both kind of like mentally looked at each other, and we were like, and he's like,
we know there were going to be rules.
Yeah, and he goes, "There's no rules. There's nothing. Talk about whatever you want." It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen. I've been to, I mean, smaller people. They're like, well, I really don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't feel okay.
And
talking
we usually,
about this,
we usually talk to our guests and say, hey, like, is there, before we get live, is there anything that we can't talk about?
Right. Yeah. And we've had,
and he said no.
We've had just regular people with way more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like we're just like, okay, so can we even do this?
Right. Okay. Well, the thing that you were here because of is like that whole thing
is
off limits.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God.
So what can we talk about?
I gotta tell you, when he was at the Laurentide, you had a smile on your face the entire time. You freaking loved it. It was like, that was cool. Like you were happy. That's cool.
We got a lot of good stuff done that day.
Seeing something that you really care about, like really come into fruition, take off, So
we've been talking for over a year about, and we've been thinking about it for a lot longer, but we've been like seriously talking for over a year about officially organizing the Libertarian Party of Yates County. And now it's official. Now it's an organization. Now it exists.
If you're that excited about it,
it has a board. Now it has delegates. Now we can.
Oh, that's right. Because
nominate. Yeah. Now we can nominate candidates. Now we can endorse candidates.
Wow. Yeah.
So and whatever else, we can speak. From that platform. So it's.
If you could get more of them, more libertarians, really, because there was a lot of votes in this county, and I think because of not having what you had, they're underrepresented. So,
totally.
Yeah, I think there's definitely
more. We've talked to people who are in office who identify as libertarians. They're not registered as libertarians. They don't run as libertarians, but they identify as libertarians. And I think there are a lot of people out there. And that's kind of a little bit of what we talked about with Larry.
Yeah.
Was he said, yeah, so if I win for governor, if I'm the governor, then some of the people who are currently in office in the assembly and in the state senate will change to libertarian because they are libertarian.
Yep.
There's some of them in there.
Talking about libertarian. I saw your boss yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to one of my businesses. And
the family, right?
Yeah, and he told everyone what we did and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. First time I've ever actually really got time to chat with him. So that was fun. And then his wife knows Mary.
Right.
I think they do I think his wife volunteers at public health maybe, or does something.
She's a nurse.
Oh, she's a nurse too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's cool. Me and Jeff, and I was like, I want you back on. I want to be there when you're on. I have so many questions for him. I was like asking him questions there, and he's like trying to hang out with his family. He's like, leave me alone. So
we had
you got to get him back on.
We had a student that I convinced to interview him last week.
Did you?
Yeah, because she had an assignment that she had to interview somebody that worked there, and she's like, I think I'm just going to interview my coach. Like, no, your coach,
right?
My boss is the most interesting person here.
He's and he's quiet.
Interview him.
He doesn't like talk. You wouldn't know what he's done in his life. He doesn't even like really. He's just like kind of quiet guy. He's like, it's so much. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always chuckles because somehow on the tour for admissions.
Yeah.
Whenever they come by, they're like, and this is our head athletic trainer. He worked for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he always kind of like chuckles because he's like, yeah, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
It was for like 1 year, 30 years ago.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then he's also done even crazier stuff. Like, he's the one that got you into the pro bull riding stuff, right? It was like him, yeah. So, which is, I think, is almost cooler than the Eagle thing.
And he's been in professional racing too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's pretty cool. How do you do that?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you athletic train? Like, are we talking like drivers?
Drivers, pit
Like,
crews,
oh, okay,
everybody.
pit crews makes
Pit
sense.
crews,
Yeah.
totally. Drivers too.
Would they like cramp up and stuff?
Oh, they can have all sorts of stuff. There was a guy like a few months ago or last year, I don't know, sometime in the past year or two,
Mm-hmm.
who I think he fractured his shoulder blade or something.
Really?
And so they had to like build this whole pad thing to go around so that his shoulder blade wouldn't be up. Yeah, think about trying to drive.
Yeah, I can't imagine that to hurt.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So
Okay.
no, there are all sorts of different stuff. He
That's
brought in
pretty
this
cool.
thing, this really cool thing that when they have accidents,
Yep.
right, and you got to take care of them.
I didn't know if that was as much you guys as that would be like EMT. Like,
It might be both.
yeah.
It might be both. So they've got this thing though that for removing the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, the little pump thing that you use on the football helmet to adjust it. So you'd use one of those and you plug it into the helmet on the top of the helmet, and it inflates this bag inside the helmet and pushes the helmet off.
Really?
It's like
Okay.
emergency equipment that you would never think of.
Is it so it's not pre-installed in the helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's in.
Yeah.
Oh,
The bag is in there, and it's
Okay.
just like the little valve, just like on a football helmet, and you just
Oh,
and the thing
what
it
the
pops your
hell?
helmet off,
That's cool.
so that you don't have to like try to do this. It just reduces motion. Like if you know that you might have to remove that helmet, and you know that if you have to remove it, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You want to be
That's
as
a good
prepared
idea.
as possible.
I'm surprised
with
they
that
don't
thing
do
in there.
stuff like that for. I mean, hockey is not much of a helmet, but like football, something that you're really strapped in hard to. I'm surprised they don't have something like that.
A lot of times we just leave the helmet on for football.
I wore a hockey helmet once, and I was like, "Is there any protection?"
Yeah.
Hockey's like they don't care about your brain, really. I know you were in
That's
it.
not
but
what helmets are for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just
Helmets are to protect you from a
I always
skull
thought
fracture.
like hockey helmets were like when you put. I thought they were going to be like heavy, like a football helmet.
You don't want a heavy one.
Yeah.
No, you don't want.
It's crazy.
You don't want a heavy one for football either.
Well, I mean, it's not like
The
heavy,
weight-
but they just feel a hell of a lot more sturdy
The
than
weight
a
of
hockey helmet.
the weight of the helmet is one of the things that can lead to brain injury if it's a heavier helmet.
Really?
Right.
Wow. I didn't know
Because
that.
you're like, if you get this,
Yeah.
it's more for your neck to slow down.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang.
So anyway, cool stuff.
Yeah. Did you watch Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder?
Met Paul Newman.
Paul.
He met Paul Newman. You know Paul Newman?
No.
What?
Like where? What was he? Who is he? Is he in a band?
No.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know who he is.
Paul Newman. You know Paul Newman?
I mean, maybe I've seen him.
Kidding me?
Seen him in a movie.
Ever seen Slapshot?
Yes. Oh, okay, that's him. Gotcha.
Paul Newman.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he's like big in racing, or was.
I didn't know that.
He was big in racing. So anyway.
Yeah. Did you watch the boxing match last night? You're not really into boxing or stuff like that?
If I see it, I see it.
Okay.
Kind of deal.
So 280-pound man, 6'9", versus a 240-pound, 6'7" man.
Okay, but those are some large men.
Just absolutely, just hammering each other, right? And
did it look like Rocky IV, except for both of them are the Russian?
No. So Tyson Fury, like he's called the Gypsy King, right? This guy doesn't lose. He's huge. He doesn't even look like he should box. Like he looks out of shape. And then Deontay Wilder is like Greek god, like chiseled out of brick, everything. And this Fury guy's beat him. This is the third time he's beat him. But anyways, talking about like concussions and stuff, it's like, how the hell do boxers not have more concussions than we? Maybe they do, and we don't ever hear about them. Because these guys are just, I mean, they're getting. Is it because they spread out so far, so much contact, like just one night and then another, like, and not that kind of contact?
They do
again
try to
for
reduce. They do try to reduce the impact at this point. Like that's why you see them with headgear and stuff like that during training.
Yeah. Because I just like you.
Have you seen
in football? There's a concussion like and I know there's
Yeah.
more players.
Yeah.
In hockey, like
Right.
people are always hurt, but it's like these fighters, like maybe you don't know the next day, but you would think these guys would be done for. They're just getting
There's a
nailed.
lot of brain injury still.
Yeah.
But look at the size of their necks.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I
Look
don't
at the
know.
size of their
They're
neck.
probably massive. Yeah.
Their neck, like the diameter of your neck, the circumference of your neck, has a correlation with concussion.
Really?
Yeah.
So
that's why women are more likely to get concussion. They got skinny necks.
so that old Smith machine where you're doing the
Yeah.
neck weights,
Yeah.
I really should have been doing them the whole time. Huh?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did once a week.
No,
Yeah.
strengthening your neck could actually reduce concussion.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. I just always used to think that was a waste of time. Coach would be like, this is so. If you lower your head and hit somebody, your neck doesn't snap back, and we'd be like, sure, coach. Like, yeah, whatever you say.
Don't lower your head.
Yeah.
Don't lower your head.
Well, he would say
Heads
that.
up.
He would say that too, but you know how it is. Kids don't listen. But
yeah, and
so,
that's how they get spinal injuries.
I wonder, those cowboy collars have to be like what? They should almost be mandatory. You know what a cowboy collar is?
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you think they'd be mandatory?
I don't know.
Because that stops all.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of. There's only so much you can do. Anytime that you limit motion, there was a story a while back, like quite a while back now, that somebody had a neck injury like that, and so they took tape and they attached the face mask like down to the pads so that their head wouldn't snap back.
Okay.
And they hit somebody and broke their spine because that motion protects you.
Really?
Like, motion dissipates force. Motion dissipates force. Motion dissipates force. You know this. It's simple mechanics, right? So you got all that motion. This
right. Yeah, if that didn't
absorbs
do that,
all that
you'd probably
force,
break
right?
your wrist.
Yeah, if you
right.
Not good. And especially if you get for football, for spinal injuries in general, the most dangerous thing is an axial load. So that's why you have to have your head up. The most dangerous thing is to hit somebody with the top of your head. Because there's nowhere for that motion to go.
Right.
So what happens is it blows out.
Huh.
So when you get a spinal fracture, it's that the body of the vertebrae actually can, it gets that force and it kind of squishes. Like, think about you step on a cookie, it's like it goes, and that's how you get bad spinal injuries.
Interesting.
So don't hit people with the top of your head. Seriously, teach your kids, don't hit people with the top of their head.
I think most, even junior league, I was taught that. It's
Yeah,
pretty well taught.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, that's what's changed injury for football. That's what's made so that we have less spinal injuries in football is the education.
Yeah.
And that all the coaches have to be taught that, and they have to teach the kids that.
I haven't played in 12 years, and I still remember knees bent, hips forward, head up, and then you drive through and lift the legs. That was just like how you're 100% taught. But then there was always those nuts, and those are the kids that everyone used to be like, oh, he's a big hitter, he's strong, would be the ones that would just missile you with their helmet. And it's and that's also the kids that have the concussions. So
yeah. But it's really, see what you're gonna hit. See what you're gonna hit. And that's the same thing they talk about in hockey. And when I was working in hockey, the scariest thing for me, it was always, it wasn't when they were hitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was if somebody would fall down and be sliding on the ice, and if they're sliding toward the boards head first, and usually they'll kind of get their head to the side like this.
Yeah.
But if they see it coming and they do this thing, and if they get that board to the top of the head, that's,
really,
that's the scariest thing. That's the number one scariest thing for me. Other than, somebody gets hit in the chest with a puck, somebody gets hit in the, in the trachea with a puck. I had a kid get hit right here. this was the craziest story, right? So we're in Calgary, Canada, and there's a like the game starts like an hour late because the game before somebody got hurt and they had to call an ambulance, and it took the ambulance a really long time to get there, like 20 minutes, half hour at least.
Didn't even have one at the game.
Took a long time. No, most of them don't.
Well,
almost none of them do. And even like at that school I was working at, we never had an ambulance at the game. We'd have to have a full-time ambulance crew because we had games every night.
Oh, that's true. Because I just remember in high school, everywhere you went, there was an ambulance at the game.
We had 7 hockey teams.
Wow.
We had games every night. Wow. We had multiple games every night.
Yeah.
So there wasn't an ambulance. So it took like a half hour from the ambulance to get there. We come out for warm-ups. That kid was fine. Come out for warm-ups. Somebody rips a shot wide. First warm-up shot, rips it wide, and it smashes one of the glass panels. And we can't find the maintenance guy, the rink manager. So we're like trying to find the rink manager so they can replace the thing and scoop up all the broken glass. So the game's, meanwhile, it's like an hour late. We finally get out there, and one of the guys goes down to block a shot because that's like, this is weird in some, going from hockey to other sports, to watch the guys get out of the way of a shot after watching these hockey guys like dive in front of a bullet.
Yeah.
Like that's going 100 plus miles an hour and they dive in front of it. So this kid goes down to block a shot and it hits him like right here. Like right where your
collarbone.
Right where your collarbone like goes into your breastbone, your clavicle, and your sternum, people. Anyway, I just trying to be relatable. Yeah. Anyway, so it hit him right there, and he went down. That, like, it hit him hard, and I'm thinking, I'm really far away. I'm like 150 feet away at this time, and I'm thinking, shit, that just hit him in the windpipe. He can't breathe. Like, I thought it crushed his air pipe. Like,
Jesus.
Because the athletic trainer from the other bench, he had a better view, and he immediately leapt over the boards onto the ice to go help. And so we both get out there, and it didn't. But like, that kid, his life flashed in front of my eyes, because I'm thinking, if the ambulance takes 20 minutes, and he doesn't have an airway, and we don't have anything, like, we don't have a way to get him an airway.
You had a ballpoint pen, right? Jesse, I believe in you, Phil.
Like, I was so worried that the kid was just like, his airway was closed.
Jesus.
And thankfully it wasn't. He couldn't lift his arm. Like, he got hit that hard. It was swollen like a thing like this. I was able to get him back the next day, but the whole thing, like, it was not pretty.
How fast those pucks go?
But it could have been really bad.
Do they go fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the speed is of them or anything.
They're like a slap shot over 100 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And how heavy is a puck?
Think about how hard you could throw something. Now add like 3 feet to your arm.
Right. Yeah. Really getting force. Right. And is a puck really heavy? I've never actually touched one. I don't know.
Like, they're not super heavy.
No. Okay.
But they're not light either.
They're rubber.
Like, they're rubber. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's like a good chunk of rubber.
I always wanted to play hockey. We don't have any options like that around here. So you don't know.
Well, here's how hard they are and how hard you can hit them. The first practice shot smashed a tempered glass panel.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go pretty hard.
Yeah.
And these guys just go get in front of it.
No, they're crazy.
They're a little crazy.
No, hockey is.
You gotta be a little crazy.
Hockey. That's what I love about it. That is a man's sport.
It is.
And so that's
or a woman's sport.
I always wanted to play it because it was just like, that's like extreme physical contact.
Yeah.
And the fact that these guys think, like, I can't imagine being on skates, for one, going full speed, and then by the time you see somebody's going to hit you, stopping on skates isn't like stopping on grass. You know, it's like, how the hell do you stop yourself from getting nailed like that? It's just like, you're done for.
Yep.
Those guys get obliterated out there. It's crazy.
And then meeting some of the guys, like I'm bigger than a lot of the guys that play.
They look huge because of their shoulder pads.
They're on skates.
Yeah.
The pads aren't that thick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're thicker than they used to be.
They look big because of TV. I don't know.
No, they're big.
They are big guys.
They're big guys.
Okay.
But they're not all like tall.
Okay.
Like they're not, but they're all on skates, so that bumps them up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've seen a couple of the Sabres guys in a bar.
Yeah.
And you would think they're no different than everyone else. It's pretty funny. They just look like your
regular
dude.
Like regular guys.
Yeah.
But they're tough.
Beastly.
They're strong. Yeah. I met Mark Messier.
Okay. Yeah.
And the guy he's one of the best hockey players of all time. And he comes over and introduces himself to me, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Mark. Like, good luck with the game today." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm like, yeah, I know you're Mark.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me who you are.
I look at him. I'm like, "That's Mark Messier walking over to me." I'm like crazy. Filling up water bottle, but he's like, I'm like looking up at the guy.
Is he that tall?
He's a big guy.
Really?
He's massive. Like, he's just a big guy. That guy. Let's see if we can. No kidding. He's my height.
Yeah.
Well, he felt a lot. He seemed a lot bigger that day.
Yeah.
He's my size.
6'2", 210. Yeah, big
what?
Dude.
All right. Well, he's
on the Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
what's WHA?
Where?
Early years in WHA.
Probably.
Who's the last former WHA player to be active?
Where am I looking here?
Oh, up.
And
then it says
World Hockey Association.
Oh, there you go. World Hockey Association. That's what that is. Okay. Oh, that was another professional league back in the day then. Cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
I guess I don't know. He seemed bigger. I guess I was bent over when I was talking to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just told this whole story about how huge this guy is. He's literally exactly my size.
That's funny.
He's exactly my size.
Oh, jeez.
He was helping his dad. This is the coolest thing, right? So he was there. It was the national championship for ice hockey. And he was there helping his dad coach a youth team.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
He was helping his dad coach, I believe, the South Fairfield Blues.
Okay.
Out of Connecticut. We were in Simsbury, Connecticut. So anyway, kind of neat.
That is cool.
I had a chance to talk, with a lot of these guys that are just ice hockey legends.
Yeah.
The last game I was like, the last game that I went to, and I got to get to another hockey game. But the last pro game I went to, I sat between JP Parisi and Bob Suter, who are like, you might not know who they are, but they're legends.
Yeah.
They're absolute legends. Like,
that's got to be tough for hockey guys because I guarantee a lot of people don't know. Like, they're not as famous as some other athletes here.
I know. Yeah. They didn't make the money either.
Yeah.
He was telling me all about his, he had a turnkey, condo. All he had to do is bring his clothes.
Really?
And then when he's done, just take his clothes and hand him the key back. But he was in the Olympics. Let's see, where's he's got this whole really cool story about so his son Zach Parisi also went to the school. He was one of the best. So both of their sons played. So Ryan Suter, Bob Suter's son, and Zach Parisi, JP Parisi's son, both were playing for the same team.
Wow.
Both were making $100 million contracts. So they would just let us use their suite. And one day we're up there using their suite and their families are there and they're just normal dudes. They were really cool.
Wow. So they went to the school you were at?
JP Parisi was one of the guys that kind of, I think that they had hockey before. They had hockey before because they had a rink. But they decided that hockey was going to be their thing.
Yeah.
And they got JP to come start their hockey program at that level.
The Minnesota North Stars.
Yep.
New York
And
Islanders.
so he coached there for maybe a couple of years. And then they got Andy Murray, who went on to be a like NHL coach.
Yeah.
And then they got Tom Ward, who I worked with a lot.
Yeah.
And he went on to coach in the NHL as an assistant coach for the Sabres.
Okay.
And then he's back. He's back at Shattuck St. Mary's now. So he was a great guy to work with.
How many kids went pro that you were around? Like a lot?
Yeah, a lot. Like every year, like between 2 and 7 any given year.
Went pro.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like yeah.
Damn.
Okay. Like the first guy that I worked with that went pro was Nate McKinnon.
Okay.
And he's like one of the best players in the league now. And they draw a lot of parallels with Sidney Crosby because they grew up in the same town, and they're like both just fast, skilled guys. But he went on. He was, and Sidney Crosby also went to Shattuck St. Mary's.
Oh, really?
I worked with his sister. Anyway, Nate McKinnon was Rookie of the Year. Like, so.
When you were coaching, like, could you tell instantly? Like, we were like, oh, this kid's going pro.
Yeah, we knew.
Like, no.
There was no question.
Yeah. Okay.
There was no question that he was going to be in the NHL.
Like all the kids, you must think that
when he was like 15, he was fast enough to be in the NHL.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's impressive.
You got to see this.
All right.
So JP Parisi, hopefully I can make sure this isn't too loud. Okay, that should be fine. So this is JP Parisi, 1972.
Also takes his pass.
Oh.
He's knocked over by, and it'll be a penalty there to Canada. And just one penalty after another in this game. Three-stage stops the Soviet player.
There's like, where is it? There we go. So.
And this is one of the reasons there's a lot of hooking,
It's too loud.
and so on.
There he is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That ref was scared, dude.
You want to talk about helmets? All they had was like their big ass hair back then.
Wow. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah.
As to who would referee this game. Team Canada.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
He got tossed.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
That's not a good look.
No.
Oh man.
Cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all good times. But yeah, no, I worked with loads and loads of really talented people, and at the coaching level, teachers, everything, like just really good quality people there, and not just hockey.
Right.
We had soccer players that I worked with that are now in the MLS, Major League Soccer. You've got soccer players that I have that I worked with that are now in the Olympics.
Jeez.
Julia Rodar's really great soccer player for the Swedish national team. And figure skaters that.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Like, yeah, it's just, so anyway, good stuff.
Yeah.
Stop boring everybody.
Cool. Hey, all right, guys.
with my stories about the old days.
The old days.
When in my day, we used to have bicycles. Jesus, Jesse.
Hey, we all used to ride them.
We used to ride them.
Yeah, we didn't just have them sitting in our yard.
And we had to pedal them. They didn't have any batteries back then. You had to actually pedal the bike.
That's right. Oh, God.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. Come fill your time. This pot's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail, upstate New York, every episode I tell. Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. It's rare.